Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. It's been some time. It's been a few weeks, really, since I've been on my Samkhya Karika. So sorry about that. So we're at Karika number 15. And if you haven't listened to the other ones, or if you're unfamiliar with the Samkhya philosophical system, check it out. This is, of course, the philosophical system that is created by the sage Kapila some 25, 3,000 years ago. Super cool system. Anyway, there is a lot involved. There's roughly 72 karikas, that is passages. So, yeah, there's quite a bit to get through. Of course, we're just focusing on 15 today. And I like 15. 15's, it's there's a sweetness to it in this typically harsh. No, harsh isn't a good way. Cold, cold. The kind of cold philosophical system. So, all right, now it begins. The unmanifest cause does exist because of the uh, finiteness of specific objects, because of natural sequence, because of activity depending upon efficiency, because of the distinction between cause and effect, and because of the merging of this evolved diversity. All right, so if we break it down, essentially it's a pretty easy passage to consume. Um, so as we break it down, the unmanifest, right? This unmanifest, if we were looking at, say, the Vedanta philosophy, be like Brahman. If this were yoga, from the Yoga Sutra, it'd be like the Purusha, right? The idea of the spirit, the connectedness of the spirit to Brahman, to the vast, to the unmanifest, essentially, right? That which cannot be seen or fully understood, the source of all things, if you will. So um, it begins, the unmanifest cause does exist because of the finiteness of specific objects. And I love this because if you ever read Deepak Chopra's Chopra, I forget the guy's name. Anyway, the Tao of Physics, really wonderful book, super cool book. Suggest checking it out. Kind of in Samkhya falls into this, into that book really well, because it's an attempt to explain science, early science, quantum physics, if you will, through philosophical systems. And here, this finiteness, right? The unmanifest is does exist because of the finiteness of these objects. It seems like we go in deeper and deeper and deeper, and we keep discovering smaller and smaller, like, particles. Um, Even with quantum physicists, we see that they are often, well, now using the term the God particle, in search of this God particle. Now, of course, interpret God however you like. But in this case, we're talking about the unmanifest, the source of all things that can't be fully discovered or described. Okay. Okay, so the unmanifest cause does exist because of natural sequence. Now, I love this, right? This is like natural evolution. You just take something like natural evolution, or say entropy, things that, the clock of nature, let's say, right? We know, right? Not everybody, of course, accepts the idea, right? That nature is like kind of naturally unfolding, and therefore this unfolding itself is driven by, of course, nature itself. The clockwork of the cosmos, if you will, is driven by something that is not being forced by anything but itself. Okay. Now the unmanifest cause does exist because of activity depending upon efficiency. I love this. This is like so cool, because for a lot of us, and this includes myself, we don't live as efficiently as we should, right? We're living. We can very easily live in a way that's complicated. This always brings you back to that really beautiful Vedantan saying, right? It is simple to be happy, but it is difficult to be simple, right? So the practice, so much in yoga, is this idea of efficiency or simplicity, if you will, is to move towards a place of simplicity, right? That's the practice. Being simple. um, you know, the word simple-minded has a negative connotation to it. But in some ways, yeah, we do have to act as adults and grown-ups, and we have to move about our world in a way that is that is largely driven by our world around us. But we can fall into that so much so that we kind of forget how to be simple. Um, if you have a kid or if you have a niece, nephew, or whatever, you watch them. I encourage my daughter all the time. You stay young, right? Stay youthful, right? That's the practice. Stay youthful. You want to see her out playing and stuff and having a good time. That is divinity, right? Not the minutia that us adults oftentimes get caught up in. Okay, the unmanifest cause does exist because of the distinction between cause and effect. Again, just a really fantastic passage here. We can kind of go back to this idea of simplicity or efficiency. When one thing happens, another thing is going to happen because of that, right? This idea of, it's kind of broader terminology or broader use of the word karma, right? Cause and effect. Um, Part of our work in yoga is to have free will. To give maybe the best example, like how calm might you stay in a very intense, these very intense moments, right? How calm can you stay in the most intense of moments? Right, because if these moments, these situations or experiences that we have that are really intense, maybe mentally aggravating or stimulating, immediately, right, our we reflect that intensity or the chaos, right, the chaotic nature of the situation. So cultivating free will, not allowing this karmic effect to happen, right, kind of remaining simple, if you will, but also knowing, right, that what's happening around us is going to have an effect on us and therefore adjust our behavior is an important thing to note, right? Because this is kind of like cause and effect, and we see it happen all throughout nature. There's a kind of, it's like a driving force of evolution, right? And this is again the unmanifest that Kapila is talking about. Let me move on. The unmanifest cause does exist because of the merging of this evolved diversity. There's so much happening in the universe, right? There's so much going on in uh, in the world, in nature. So much that's undescribable, you know, that's or undefinable. And there's the kind of patchwork. I think about it in terms of our ability to, understand a kind of like a, you know, multiple subjects of things, right? It's limited, right, by our kind of the capacity of our, um, cognition, maybe. So it's limited. Like nature itself is manifold. It consists of myriad things that are still completely unknown. Right? And this is one of the reasons why Kapila, the Kapila gives as um, the sort or the existence of the unmanifest, right? Because it is difficult to know all things. It's impossible, it seems. So, all right. Well, we're just going to do 3 deep breaths, okay? So sit up nice and tall, ears over shoulders over hips. Relax your face. Let's inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Now, with control, let's inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Hope it was a good one. If you like it, hit that like button. And if you don't like it, let me know. Message me or something. All right. Be well. Be sure to take care of yourself and others. Peace.